Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Shri Nitai Gaur Antaraj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. निताय गौर नटराज की, शीला प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. श्री श्रीनिताई गौरानंद राज की, शिला प्रभुपाद की, गौर प्रेमानंद। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Nataraj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
All right. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, welcome to the Sunday Love Feast and happy Shivaratri. So, before we go ahead and we get into today's topic, I promise I'm not covered in ashes and surrounded by ghosts and demons. So, please move closer as people come in so we open up space in the back. Also, feel free to swap cushions if you need to. We have yellow cushions if you'd like a little more comfortable seat. We have flat cushions. We have chairs, but make yourselves comfortable. Find a tiger skin rug if you feel like it's fit for today's celebration. Okay, so today we're celebrating Shivaratri, but that doesn't normally, if you come to think of it, normally when you think of a Gaudiya Vaishnava, normally you don't think about Shiva, but today we're going to talk a little bit about the personality and then also how it applies to us as a Gaudiya Vaishnava. But of course, before we do anything, we always want to offer our respectful obeisances unto the previous acharyas. So, Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivirshesha Shunyavadi Paschita Deshatarine Okay, so let's talk Shivaratri. So of course today is Shivaratri, and if you want to more come like what revolves around, generally it in the common place it is normally celebrating Shiva's marriage to Parvati. But let's talk a little bit more about who specifically Shiva is, and we'll go into the personality, who he is, what he specifically represents to us, because of course we understand that there are many different views on Shiva, but in terms of what Srila Prabhupada has given us in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, how do we relate to this personality, and also how can he assist us in our own bhakti path? So do we have the two wireless mics ready to go? There's one. Chris, do you want to grab that one right there? And then actually, would you like to start us off, and would you like to read this verse and translation? And we'll have another one for the purport at the ready. Is it on? Tap, tap, tap. Max, max, max. Sound man? Transcendental sound man? So when Max gets initiated, we just have to make sure that his name's not Narada Muni, because the sound's not transcendental yet. All right, just speak loud with your heart, like a lion. Okay, so yes, Prabhu. Please. So are you gonna get on Krish's back now and start dancing? Krish, give him piggyback ride. Okay, so let's before we read the purport of this verse, give a little bit of context about what is going on in this pastime. So, in the previous verse, 1799 of Adi Lila, there was a devotee of Shiva who was coming around, and he was singing about the qualities of Mahadev, and then he came to Mahaprabhu's home. And of course, Mahaprabhu listens outside, and he hears a little. What is the drum that Lord Shiva plays called? Louder. Damaru. Yes. And so he hears. So the Damaru was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and this instantly triggered Mahaprabhu, and he heard this, and instantly came out, and then began to dance with the devotee of Shiva, singing the glories of Mahadev. But let's actually now understand this verse in more depth. So we'll have a second mic is around here somewhere? Yes? No? All right. Samanbi, would you like to read the purport for us?
Lord Chaitanya Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 17:100 purport.
That's why I picked the person up in the front. It's easy to see. There's a lot of words.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu adopted the mood of Lord Shiva, for he is Shiva also. According to the philosophy of Achintya Beda Beda Tattva, Lord Shiva is not different from Lord Vishnu, but still Lord Shiva is not Lord Vishnu. Just as yogurt is nothing but milk, and yet is not milk nevertheless. One cannot get the benefit of milk by drinking yogurt. Similarly, one cannot get salvation by worshipping Lord Shiva. If one wants salvation, one must worship Lord Vishnu. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Matstani sarva bhutani na shaham desh avastitaha. Everything is resting on the Lord, for everything is his energy, yet he is not everywhere. Lord Chaitanya's adopting the mood of Lord Shiva is not extraordinary, but one should not therefore think that by worshipping Lord Shiva, one is worshipping Lord Chaitanya. That would be a mistake.
Okay, thank you, Samanbi. So we are going to dive into multiple points of this purport. Specifically, so we obviously, this distinction between Lord Shiva and Vishnu will pop up multiple times because, of course, we can understand that transformation activity where if Lord Vishnu is considered milk, Lord Shiva is that yogurt. And does anybody know actually how to make yogurt? Anyone know the process, how to culture yogurt? Yes, Bhajagovinda, you raised your hand. Kaslu. Good. So you're going to make yogurt for Shri Shinita Gaura Nataraj now, right? The qualification is the endeavor. So, and the instruction. You gave a pretty good instruction. Can anyone follow that instruction that Bhajagovinda gave to make milk into yogurt? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, Vai Prabhu. Next Sunday. Homemade yogurt. So we are going to visit this, and we're going to see this will pop up multiple times. But let's actually talk about specifically who is Mahadev, who is Lord Shiva. So, as explained in the previous purport, he is Vishnu, and yet at the same time he is not Vishnu. He is an expansion of Vishnu, and we can actually understand how many transcendental qualities does Krishna have? Who knows the number? 64. Very good. Okay, so Lord Brahma possesses 78% of these qualities. Lord Shiva possesses about 84% of these qualities of Krishna. So does anyone know basic math? What is, or not basic, I mean, there will be some decimal points, but what is 84% of 64? You can pull out your phone calculators if you want to do 57, one less, round down. Keep going. 56, technically it's lower, but there is, if you want to go ahead and do your calculators, you will do 64. Brahma, of course, has 78%, and then even all the living entities, we do possess some of these qualities of Krishna, but we do not possess all. But of course, Shiva possesses more of them, and that's ultimately because of his position. Now, let's talk about that. And specifically, how do we relate to Lord Shiva? So, of course, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto 12, text, chapter 13, text 16, it's stated, Vaishnavam yatha Shambhu. So, Lord Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas and the devotee of Krishna. So, when we look at him, we have to look at him as the best of us. He is at the topmost. That is why he is referred to as Mahadeva. He's not just a demigod. He is the chief amongst all demigods, and above all that, he is the best of all Vaishnavas. So, Navya, do you have the other mic right around you? Srila Prabhupada actually writes quite a bit on this topic, so that's why I'm going to ask you guys in the front, because there's about to be a lot to read. So, go ahead and read that for me.
Do we worship him? The so-called devotees of Lord Shiva, who are simply after material prosperity, are in a way deceived by Lord Shiva. He does not actually deceive them because Lord Shiva has no business deceiving people. But because the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva want to be deceived, Lord Shiva, who is very easily pleased, allows them all kinds of material benedictions. These benedictions might ironically result in the destruction of the so-called devotees. For instance, Ravana took all material benediction from Lord Shiva, but the result was that he ultimately destroyed with his family, kingdom, and everything else because he misused Lord Shiva's benediction. Because of his material power, he became very proud and puffed up, so that he dared kidnap the wife of Lord Ramachandra. In this way, he was ruined. To get material benedictions from Lord Shiva is not difficult, but actually these are not benedictions. The Prachetas received benediction from Lord Shiva, and as a result, they attained the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This is real benediction. The gopis also worshipped Lord Shiva in Vrindavana, and the Lord is still staying there as Gopishwara. The gopis, however, prayed that Lord Shiva bless them by giving them Lord Krishna as their husband. There is no harm in worshipping the demigods, provided that one's aim is to return.
Do not worship him in the... You've burnt out. You've burnt out. Same thing with any benedictions that come from any of the demigods. You may get some temporary benefit. You may get a really nice car. You may get straight A's. You may get a really nice house. But ultimately, everything comes to an end. However, if you approach Lord Shiva in a mood like, please, you are the best of all Vaishnavas. I don't need anything from you, and yet I want to follow in your example. I want your benediction, own spiritual journey effective, potent. That is then why we can approach a personality like Lord Shiva. Only with the aim, like Srila Prabhupada, provided one's aim is to return, be our only relationship with the devas, because also we can also understand when you worship Krishna, you worship everything, including Shiva, including Brahma, including all the devas, because as it's written, if you water the roots of the tree, the entire tree prospers. If you water the leaves, in most cases that the leaves on the water will just roll off and hit the ground and do nothing. So you want to make sure you're actually watering the root of the tree. So what is our relationship? He is one of us. This in the Padma Purana, and specifically 72:335, Lord Shiva is telling his wife Sati, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So in this, Lord Shiva states to his wife that he relishes chanting the name of Lord Ram. He's constantly chanting the Lord's holy name. And what is the Yuga Dharma? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's it? You guys enthusiastic about the Yuga Dharma or not? What is the Yuga Dharma? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is what Lord Shiva does. While he's sitting on Mount Kailash, that's all he's doing. He's chanting the Lord's name and he is relishing it. He has cultivated such a beautiful Nam Bhajan where he is just tasting the Lord's holy name on the tongue and he's letting the Lord dance on his tongue. And we'll get back to dancing later in today's class. But this should be our mood. This is what we should look to personalities like this for. Inspiration. so that maybe one day I might get a dint of a taste, just like Lord Shiva can, to constantly chin up. And he met with Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva first, before even conversing with Mahaprabhu, he offered him alms. And then after offering alms, they sat for 3 days in the mountains. And they had a very intimate personal discussions, talking about Krishna Katha. And then afterwards of discussing this very deep pastime, relishing this association, Mahaprabhu took his leave of the Lord, and then he continued onwards throughout South India, and his next destination, he continued to move towards the Kaveri River. So we can even understand that Lord Shiva is also relishing even his association in Madhya Lila was going out throughout South India, visiting all these different holy places. A lot of the holy places that we visit, often we have to owe our gratitude to Lord Shiva for giving us the ability to access them. And one of the most famous places of pilgrimage in the entire world, which is even known to non-Vaishnavas, it's known to even like Christians, Muslims, it's even known to atheists. Does anybody know what this place of pilgrimage is? It's quite long. It technically, I guess, the headwaters are a clue. Headwaters? Yes, the Ganges. So he gives us access to the Ganga. Because if you look at pictures of Mahadev, you will always see at the very top of his head, on the top of his dreads, you'll see a little spout of Mahaganga. And this holy river, there is actually a pastime at how it, of course we understand how it even enters into the material world, revolving around Vamdev, but how does it actually manifest here on Mother Earth? There's actually a beautiful pastime that revolves around how Lord Shiva, for if you're big into whitewater rafting, it's something that I really enjoy. You don't really have it though here in Florida. Everything's pretty flat. But rivers at their peak near the headwaters, they're coming down at such a quick speed that often you will rate the strength of the rivers based on a class. So light little bubbly rapids, you have class 1. Class 2, you have a little bit of chop. Class 3, you've got a good challenging swirls and currents. Class 4 is pretty difficult. You need to have a good, strong team together. Class 5, you need to be a professional river rafter, or at least have a professional guide with you to guide you through the rapids. Class 6 is you need to have a few screws loose in order to go in that water. And then, of course, if you think about the Ganges coming into the material world, class infinity. No whitewater rafter would be able to ride her waves. But this is actually something that's very interesting from the Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 9. So there was a king, King Bhagirath, and he was wished to bring the Ganga to Mother Earth. And he petitioned to her, please come down to Mother Earth so that we can take advantage of your holy waters. And the Ganges, she replies as follows: when I fall from the sky to the surface of that planet Earth, the water will certainly be very forceful. Who would sustain that force? If I'm not sustained, I will pierce the surface of the earth and go down to Ratsala and to the Patala area of the universe. So think about that for a second. If you want to go on pilgrimage, you go up to Rishikesh, like I want to see the Ganga in its cleanest, fast, beautiful form. But then instantly, instead of seeing the river flowing down through the mountain valleys, she's just going my waves. And then there was another condition where she was worried about. And she said, "O king, I do not wish to go down to planet Earth, for there are people, all the general people, they will bathe in my water to cleanse themselves of all the reactions of their sinful deeds. And then if all these sinful deeds are accumulating in me, how will I be able to cleanse myself of all these sinful reactions? I'm taking on the entire sin of all these people who are bathing in me. What to do?" So, this is King Bhagirath's response. And then, where's the mic? Marisha, would you like to read this verse? Whoop. There we go, this verse.
Tarayishyati te vegam rudrastvatma sharirinam yasminotamidam protam vishvam shati vatantushu. Like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe, in all its latitude and longitude, is situated under different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the supersoul and the embodied soul. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head.
Okay. So there's the first part of Mother Ganga's conditions met. I don't think the earth can handle my force. Who's going to receive me? King Bhagirath already solved it. Mahadev, he will be able to withstand the force. He will take it on your head. And through the dreadlocks of his hair, it will be able to trickle down and come in a much more peaceful manner. Although if you go to the headwaters of the Ganges, the water still is quite strong, even at the head source. So just think about that if it would just come directly. But there still is the question of the second condition that Mother Ganga proposed to the king. That was an issue. And so in the previous verse, actually the king responds, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior, and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. And for such devotees, always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions. And of course, also we have to consider one of those personalities is Lord Shiva himself, who is directly bathing in the water of the Ganges. And of course, as we just explained from the verse in the Padma Purana, Lord Shiva is constantly chanting the Lord's name. The Lord is constantly on his mind and within his heart. All right, let's see. Sunil Prabhu, would you like to read the purport?
The water of the Ganges is supposed to rest on the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who sustains the entire universe by different potencies. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita 5.45. Kshiram yatha yatha dadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tatata pragaste heto yashambhutam api tata sampuvati karyat govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Milk changes into yogurt when mixed with a yogurt culture, but actually yogurt is constitutionally nothing but milk. Similarly, Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes the form of Lord Shiva for the special purpose of material transactions. I offer my obeisances at Lord Govinda's lotus feet.
Thank you. And then Srila Prabhupada continues on and he says, Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the same sense that yogurt is also milk, although at the same time it is not milk. For the maintenance of the material world, there are three incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Vishnu in an incarnation for the mode of ignorance. The material world exists predominantly in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Lord Shiva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe, which resembles a cloth woven of threads extending for both its length and breadth. So, where's Bhajagovinda? He just disappeared. Well, I am glad that when he was describing the process of making yogurt, does anybody remember what do you do to the pot? You cover it. You cover it with that cloth, and then you let it culture. So the same way, just as actually Srila Prabhupada describing Lord Shiva, the resemblance of milk to yogurt, once again, it's the same as Srila Prabhupada says. Lord Shiva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe, which resembles a cloth of woven threads extending for both length and breadth. That cloth that Lord Shiva represents, that's the yogurt process. So just think of our gigantic universal egg as a big old pot of yogurt. Anyone hungry yet? Yes? No? Yes? Good, Krishna. Okay, I'm glad someone is awake. So, Srila Prabhupada has actually, there's a more common, actually, if you look through the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many different instances. Wherever Lord Shiva appears in the pastime, he will actually give some really beautiful commentary on his position and how we can understand what he is to us. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 7, Text 33, Brajendra Kumar Prabhu, would you like to read? I think we still have only the one mic.
Prabhupada on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnava nam yatha Shambhu. It is therefore said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vijnana Bhujaya. Even the most intelligent person cannot understand what a Vaishnava like Lord Shiva is doing or how he is acting. Those who are conquered by lusty desires and anger cannot estimate the glories of Lord Shiva, whose position is always transcendental. In all the activities associated with lusty desires, Lord Shiva is an implement of Atma Rama. Ordinary persons, therefore, should not try to understand Lord Shiva and his activities. One who tries to criticize the activities of Lord Shiva is shameless.
So this purport is specifically in regards to a very interesting pastime, which actually not only involves Lord Shiva, but it also revolves around the Kurma avatar. Does anybody know what the pastime is? The churning of the milk ocean. Very good. So after Mahavatar Kurma was getting a nice scratch on his back, churned the milk ocean, what began to emerge? Louder. Halahal. So a very, very tasty drink, right? Anyone want to imitate Lord Shiva and drink some halahal? Yes? No? No one wants to drink poison? Really? Wow. Such a shame. Although if you look at a lot of like the foods in like grocery stores and you see all like the color stuff, like the, was it red 40, blue 42, sounds like a football like quarterback calling a bunch of random numbers and they add colors. Basically poison. There's a lot, and there's a reason why even Europe doesn't even carry a lot of the American food stuff because there's so much poison in it. So that's why also another thing that we should do as Vaishnavas is very, very careful about what you buy from the grocery store. Try to keep it as simple as possible and start from scratch so that way you can avoid all these unnecessary intoxicating chemicals that can be found in a lot of processed foods. But we never want to imitate Lord Shiva because who could, think about that pastime, the churning of the milk ocean. All these demons and devatas were going back and forth, giving Vishnu a very nice scratch on his shell. But then, of course, when this poison was emitting, just the fumes were already just causing these very exalted personalities to collapse. What to speak of a common man? If a common person was there, they'd probably be dead just from inhaling the fumes. And yet, these powerful demigods and demons were literally crumbling down, trying to just stand from smelling all this poison. And of course, who do they go to? They go to Lord Shiva, and they ask to deal with this poison. And of course, Lord Shiva, accepting this humble mood, he walks right to the shores of the milk ocean. He picks up and starts to drink. And then, of course, he's decorated with that mark of the poison on his neck, but that's all it does to him. He's unfazed. Him and the serpent, who is who? Does anybody know the name of the serpent around his neck? The king of the serpents. Kastub. Good guess, but not quite. So I heard it. Vasuki, thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Both drank the poison happily. And they happily, yes. So Anantashesh, good guess, Kaustubh, but Anantashesh is actually a manifestation of Balaram. And he is the serpent who will allow Lord Vishnu to rest. And also he is the avatar of Balaram who holds up every single material universe on his heads. And he's constantly chanting all the glories of the Lord up to the point where he becomes confused because there's so many glories, and even with unlimited number of hoods, he can't sing the glories of the Lord. But that's Anantashesh. But all around Lord Shiva's neck is Vasuki, and both of them drink this poison willingly as a service. So, no one wants to drink poison, right? No one can follow. Exactly, good. We're going to establish that as a baseline. But then there are many other things that Lord Shiva does that we can't even comprehend. Can anybody, when you dance, can you cause universal destruction? No? Sure? I've heard there's the phrase dancing up a storm. No one can claim they can dance up a storm? We'll test that later. But we will come back to that, I promise, because there is some interesting relation between the dancing regarding Mahaprabhu and Lord Shiva. So, but let's continue to talk about how he represents something that's very significant to us. So, how many of you have been to Vrindavan or would like to go to Vrindavan? So, been to or would like to. That should be everybody's hand because that qualifies everyone. Now, to go to Vrindavan, if you go, you will actually find that Lord Shiva stands guard. to the entrance to Vrindavan. Does anybody know what is the form of Lord Shiva who stands as guardian to Vrindavan? What is his name? Gopeshwar Mahadev. Very good. So there, before we want to enter into Vrindavan and behold all the beautiful places of pilgrimage where Lord Krishna himself manifested all of these wondrous pastimes that we can read about in Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavatam, you have to offer your respects to the gatekeeper. And that gatekeeper is Gopeshwar Mahadev. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he actually sings a very beautiful song. Jaya Jaya Gopeshwara Vrindavana Maj. All glories to Gopeshwara Shiva, who resides in Vrindavan to protect the holy Dham. And Srila Prabhupada also writes on this. It is said, Vaishnavam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore, all devotees of Lord Krishna are also devotees of Lord Shiva. In Vrindavan, there is Lord Shiva's temple called Gopeshwara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Shiva, but Katyayani or Durga as well. But their aim was to attain the favor of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna does not disrespect Lord Shiva, but worships Lord Shiva as the most exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Shiva, he prays to Lord Shiva to achieve the favor of Krishna, and he does not request material profit. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 4:24-30. So, let's talk about Gopeshwar Shiva, Gopeshwar Mahadev, because it's actually a very beautiful and funny pastime at the same time, but how Lord Shiva became the guardian of Vrindavan. So, 5,000 plus years ago, there is a time where Lord Shiva was sitting in deep meditation at Mount Kailash, constantly chanting, Ram, 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 Ram. And then his ears perked up, because instantly he began to hear the flute of Krishna. And arguably, this is one of the most intoxicating, most beautiful sounds that one could ever imagine. Does anyone here want to hear Lord Krishna playing his flute? Yes? Only a handful? Half the room? There we go. Yes, we're obsessed. It's arguably the one thing that we could relish and listen to days. If you even think about like people playing in their car, they have their playlist, Spotify playlist. Next. No, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to listen to that. Next. And they're like, no, maybe I'll go to my YouTube music, try to play something that I want to listen to. No, I don't. The mind is never satisfied with all these different playlists. But if you had if there was a channel where it was just Krishna playing his flute 24/7, can guarantee you would never change that radio station because it was just so sweet. And of course, when Lord Shiva heard this, instantly his samadhi, he was immediately transported to Vrindavan. And then with the speed of the mind, he was there in Vrindavan. So he begins to approach the holy Dham. And then as soon as he steps his first foot, of course, he was stopped by Yogamaya. So he says, okay, I want to go to this flute playing. I have to go to Krishna's flute. It's drawing to me. It's like a magnet. I need to be there. So I will go. So he goes and he finds Vrindadevi. He tells him, go and bathe in this holy kund. So he goes and he takes his bath. And then as soon as he emerges, he comes in beautifully adorned as a gopi. Extravagantly dressed. Beautiful eyes. How many eyes though? 2, you sure? 3. Because remember, Lord Shiva has 3 eyes. He has his 2, and then his 3rd eye is right in the center. So he has his beautiful decorated 2 eyes. And then before entering, Lord Shiva sincerely prays, and he stands, and he's praying to Radha and Krishna, who are at the center, for pure prema bhakti before even entering. And then, of course, the Rasa Leela begins. Krishna dances. But then after some time, Krishna pauses. Before he continues to do anything else, he pauses and he sits down and he looks around at everyone. And he just says, there's a man in this assembly. And so everyone starts looking back and forth like, what? What? And so Lalita Gopi starts going around to every single gopi in attendance. And she lifts their veils and looks. Nope, woman. Lifts their veils. Nope, that's a woman. Lifts the veil. Nope, that's a gopi. She goes to every single person. Everyone's veil is lifted. Everyone's a female. Everyone's a gopi. And she goes back to Krishna like, I checked everyone. But everyone's female. There's no Adam's apple in sight. Where's the man? But then she remembered, but there was one gopi, she was very beautiful, but she had a third eye. So at this, Krishna laughs. And he says, bring this gopi to me. And he's laughing, and then as this gopi shyly approaches Krishna, veil over her head. Don't look at my third eye. She just comes very shyly to Krishna. And then as soon as like the third eye is completely visible, Krishna bursts into laughter. Think like a big belly laugh. Everyone go give me a big belly laugh. Thank you. Louder. So Krishna bursts into laughter. And uncontrollably. And then he finally stops. And then he says, oh, Bolanath. Bolanath is another name for Lord Shiva. He says, what are you doing here? And in this entire way, he's laughing and just talking. And then Lord Shiva's like, oh, God, no. And offering all these beautiful just glances and prayers to Krishna. But there's one other personality who's watching all of this. And she is not happy at all. Who do you think it might be? Shiramati Radharani. So Radharani has this playful mood with Krishna, back and forth. She has a little bit of sass. So she comes up to Krishna and says, you never call me Gopeshwara. Am I not the Lord of the Gopis? So she gets mad at Krishna. And so Krishna immediately is like, no. Listen. He will be Dikpala, the sacred protector of Sri Vrindavan Dham and the Ras Leela. So everyone here should worship Sri Gopeshwara to achieve the highest perfection of pure prema bhakti. He will guide aspiring devotees to become free from their false ego and their male or Purusha enjoying spirit. And he turned to Gopeshwar Mahadev and said, your unique service will be stationed at the gateway of Vrindavan, where you will be a transcendental security guard. With that, Radharani was pleased. Lord Shiva was pleased. Krishna is just laughing at all this, and then resumed the evening, where then Lord Shiva resumed his normal form, and he stood guard. Now, this is a very important point, because when Lord Shiva first wanted to go into these pastimes, he was in a male form. The male form, the masculine urge is to enjoy. The urge to enjoy is a masculine trait. But of course, we understand that the Atma is feminine in energy. So you have to discard the false ego, which is male-centric. And then if you are able to take away this mentality that I want to be the enjoyer, then you can actually love. Because that is where prema bhakti begins to flow, is when you give up this mentality that I need to be the enjoyer in order to experience love. Love is meant to be enjoyed. Therefore, I should have this love. No. Love needs to be unconditional. And to be unconditional, that means there's no room for false ego. There's no room for me to say, I am the enjoyer. True love comes from giving, through devotional service. And of course, even we can think about a material example. What is the closest material example we have to pure love? A mother's love for her child. Like Devi Mataji, you've put up with so much with Hari that I don't know how you do it. It's the same thing. Everyone, if you think about your mother, think about that. Your mother put up with so much. She changed your diapers with no shame. That's the closest thing you can get to pure love. You're not looking for anything from the child. You're just looking for their well-being. You're just looking to care for them. That's the closest example that we can get in the material world to a pure love, where I just want to serve. I just want to make you happy. And through that act of service and making you happy, I get pure love from that. I develop a pure happiness that surpasses anything else in this material world. So that's what we can take whenever we go to Vrindavan or any places of pilgrimage. You have to first think of the example of Lord Shiva and ask, please remove this false ego so that I can properly engage in my devotional service without any sense of enjoyment. I am just doing this for the service of the Supreme Lord, and from that you will get supreme benefit. But there's other services too that Mahadev does. What is Mahadev known for the most? dancing. Of course, he gives boons, but he gives boons are like, yes, take. Let me go back to my chanting. Take, sure, tatastu, take. Let me go back to chanting. But his other main service that he's known for is he is known as Nataraj. He is the Lord of Dance. Now, of course, for him, his dance is the Tandava, the cosmic dance of destruction. At the end of material creation, so as we know, Mahavishnu expands through his breath. All these universal pores emit from his body. And then as he looks across each one of those material universes, that glance becomes Sadashiva. That glance becomes Shiva. That is the transition from milk into yogurt. And then each individual material universe is impregnated with that living spark. And it grows. Lord Brahma then creates. And then, of course, at the end of material creation, Lord Shiva performs his Tandava, where he destroys everything. And then Mahavishnu inhales, and all the universes go back. And then he breathes out, and the glance of Sadashiva starts over and over again. So he's doing this dance of destruction, but he always, that's the best answer, Krishna. Always, when a Vaishnava does his devotional service, he is always doing it out of happiness. Of course, also, who doesn't love to dance? Everyone love to dance? No one has two left feet in here? Even if you have two left feet, you can still dance. It may not look pretty, but you can still dance, and that's also what the Lord looks for too. So make sure later today, during Gaura Arti, you are dancing. Because, who else is Nataraj? Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Nataraj. He is also the Lord of Dance. If you think about Mahaprabhu, whenever he would sing, he would dance, move back and forth like a drunken lion, swaying. And if you actually want to think of a breakdown what drunken lion looks like, where is Gopi Bhav? What beat does Mahaprabhu like to sing and dance in? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swaying back and forth. So if at any point you hear that swaying back and forth, you want to make sure you move back and forth. Dance like a drunken lion. But sometimes also Mahaprabhu would spin. And sometimes we'll see that too when the devotees, we make a circle and we start singing and we have a little bit of space. You'll see some devotees lock hands. They'll spin. Mahaprabhu would spin so quickly, especially when he was wearing either his yellow robes or even when he took sannyas and he had the saffron cloth. He would spin so quickly that it would represent, there's a term, a firebrand. So like a whirling tornado of fire. Almost like a Tandava, a little mini cosmic dance of destruction where you see all these flames spinning. So we dance out of duty too. You don't just stand during Gaura Arti. You have to move. You have to dance. Because that's what we do. We chant, we dance, and we feast. So we don't dance out of just mere ritualistic activities. We dance because it is our duty, and because it's our duty as a Vaishnava, we need to enjoy it. So that then brings us back to, what do we do today? We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how do we relate to Lord Shiva? How do we relate to Maheshwara? So do we chant for relief? From I'm sick, I need to pray to Lord Shiva. Do we pray? Do we pray to him for that? Do we pray to him for success? Very good. Success on what? If I'm going to Lord Shiva and I'm saying, okay, I just finished exams, I studied some more. Mahadev, if you could give me those 4 bonus questions and get me up to a 98 or 100, that would be really nice. Here's a couple flowers. Har Har Mahadev. Yes, I got my A. No. Do we pray to him for liberation? No. And even Srila Prabhupada, as we read previously, Srila Prabhupada even says Mahadev doesn't even give liberation. That liberation or salvation only comes from Vishnu. But then also we can understand as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we don't even want liberation. We want prema bhakti. We want devotional service. We just want to be in association with the Supreme Lord no matter what. It could be in the spiritual world. It could be in the material world. We just want the opportunity to serve and relish in that service. So as a Vaishnava, when we approach Lord Shiva, we have to take it as the same way that we approach a senior devotee or anyone who may be more advanced than us. And of course, who is more advanced than Lord Shiva? Because he is Mahadev, he is the best of all Vaishnavas. He's not only a great Vaishnava, he is the best. He is number one. So when we go to Lord Shiva, we ask him for guidance. Please, help me develop a taste for Nam Bhajan. If I can develop a taste for Nam Bhajan, then that Nam becomes Nam Ras. And then from that Nam Ras, that sweetness, eventually prema can develop. And then from prema, Krishna prema can develop. So it's that progression that we have to then ask, please help me in my devotional path. Remove this false ego from me so that I can then strive at least to become a pure devotee of the Lord. And of course, we even know, seeing how Lord Shiva gives out benedictions, for material benedictions, he gives it all the time. Like we read previously, Ravana went, he asked for all these benedictions. Cool, I conquered all the heavenly planets, I've conquered all the lower planetary systems, I've conquered Earth. All those evaporated away, but ultimately Lord Shiva did give him a blessing, in that we think about Lord Shiva blessed Ravana with such power that the Supreme Lord himself had to come down and actually deal with him, which ultimately ended with a very beautiful benediction in that sense. But we always will make sure to think about that. We want to approach him with a pure set of mind, no false ego. And there are different ways that we can do it. We can offer flowers, we can sing his glories, but we always have to make sure whenever we sing the glories of Lord Shiva, or whenever we sing the glories of any Vaishnava, it has to be in conjunction with worship of the Supreme Lord. Because the same way that Lord Shiva is non-different from Vishnu and different at the same time, we always have to keep Lord Vishnu in the picture. So the same way, whenever we glorify Lord Shiva, we're doing so in relation to Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Nataraj, to Radha Krishna. We always have to make sure that Krishna is in the picture, and that way Lord Shiva will be pleased, and we all will be. Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Nataraj ki. Praise the Lord Shiva so that the curtain can close properly. Okay. Yep. So don't go anywhere. Like I said, when those curtains open at 6:30, we are going to sing, we're going to chant, and we are going to dance. If you are not dancing, you are not a Vaishnava. Even if you just move your feet, do the Swami step, that still counts. But putting in the effort, moving back and forth to whatever capacity you can, tapping your feet, engage with the holy name so that you can chant like Lord Shiva constantly. And even when we think about what is one of the most fundamental teachings that Mahaprabhu gave us. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. Chanting in a humble state of mind, thinking yourself lower than the straw on the street, more tolerant. He constantly respects others. He will give out benediction freely and willingly. But more importantly, because he has such a humble state of mind, he is always chanting the Lord's holy name. So with that, I'll leave the last little section if anyone would like to have any questions or share any pastimes that they are fond of Lord Shiva. We have at least one mic. I don't know if we have a second mic. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Is there anywhere where Prabhupada says that it's effective to pray to Shiva for benedictions in executing devotional service? You had said in the beginning of that purport.
Yes. So that purport was from, let me just go back.
And is it to be understood that Lord Shiva is here in the material world, and he's also transcendentally situated as Gopishwara in Vrindavan?
Yes. So,
Vaikuntha.
Both good questions. So for the specific, let me pull back the purport, which was, which purport was it? I believe it was this one. Yes. So Canto 4, text 30, chapter 30, text 38. If you want more elaborate, this is only one snippet of this. This is actually quite a larger purport. So this specific purport, Srila Prabhupada will elaborate a little more before this paragraph and a little after on this specific subject. But in terms of regarding Mahadev's position in this universe, so originally we understand he is eternally situated at Mount Kailash. So if you think you have the spiritual world, you have all the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, at the very top, you have Goloka Vrindavan, which is the topmost spiritual planet where Lord Krishna resides. From him and all of his expansions, they populate all the Vaikuntha lokas. And then you have the Brahmajyoti, which expands from Krishna himself, just as his rays. And in between, you have the transcendental, the spiritual Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva resides. And Lord Shiva, as Sadashiva, which is his cosmic form, that is the glance of Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu doesn't dissipate in the material world. So in the material sky, which is about a quarter of the entire creation, quarter of infinity, which if anyone remembers, what's a quarter of an infinity? Infinity. A lot of infinities. So in the Mahatattva, the material cloud, you have Mahavishnu resting on the causal ocean. And on there, his glance is eternally existing. And that eternal glance is transformed as Sadashiva. So that remains permanently. That doesn't dissolve. But as soon as Mahavishnu glances across and that glance becomes Sadashiva, each of those material universe, then Lord Shiva expands into those universes, and then you have what we would consider like just Shiva as like the demigod that we see, and he will reside in each individual universe. So yes and no. Correct. Exactly. Sort of. Yes. But very good question, though. And that's also like, some people ask, is he a demigod? Is he not? He is a demigod, but he is a demigod with a little asterisk. He is also an expansion of Vishnu. And because he's an expansion of Vishnu, he is also eternal in the sense of Sadashiva, being eternally present. Yes. Yes, Sunil Prabhu.
So, one question related to that. Sadashiva and the other form, what we know from Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Shiva appeared from Brahmaji's forehead.
Yes, correct.
So, are they related or no?
Yes. So, well, first let's understand, of course, we understand Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. These are the three forces in the material sphere. So we understand that once Lord Vishnu looks out across these universes, he goes in, and then as he will again once manifest as Lord Vishnu inside, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from his navel, Lord Brahma is born, the first created living being. And then from Lord Brahma, like he said, the nose, Mahadeva emerges. But he's not born, as to say, like all the other created living beings. He's merely using Brahma as an entry point into that material world. Because if Lord Vishnu is the manifestation, so for the mode of goodness, Lord Brahma, in the act of creation, he is the expression of the mode of passion. And then, as written by Srila Prabhupada, Mahadev is the mode of ignorance. But Lord Shiva himself is not ignorant. He is, of course, as we understand, a pure devotee of the Lord. But he is surrounded by a lot of people who are ignorant. But he is not, yes, correct. He will use Lord Brahma as an entry point. And actually, does anybody know what are the main associates of Lord Shiva? Ghosts, demons, goblins. Yeah, so he's probably very popular around Halloween time. But even if you think about that for a second, and this is actually a good point because it also relates to us as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Lord Shiva takes association of demoniac people, beings, ghosts, demons. He covers himself in ash. He makes himself willingly approachable by all these. And yet, he helps guide them. Some ways are more interesting than others. Of course, Ravana had to take the long way around in order to get salvation from Lord Ram. But in a lot of instances, Lord Shiva is a guiding point. He is willing to show compassion to everybody. And as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we can easily relate to that because for us, who is the most compassionate person? Nityananda Prabhu. Very good. And then from Lord Nityananda's compassion, we get Mahaprabhu's compassion. So both Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu, they both embody that compassion. And of course, Lord Shiva, as an exalted best of Vaishnavas, he also embodies that compassion. So, yes, Prabhu. Behind you, Sunil.
in the Padma Purana, Patala Kanda, there's a conversation between Parvati and Shiva, you know, and he said she's asking about Kali Yuga, how people are going to survive.
Yes.
And the answer is a very famous verse: Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalunasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatira, Nata. In this age of Kali, there is no other way, no other way, no other way for spiritual progress than the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord.
Chai. And that's all you need to do, following his example. Because even if you think about if you're going just like, yes, I want to I want to associate with Lord Shiva. You go to Lord Shiva, you go to the base of Mount Kailash. He says, okay, Lord Shiva happily accepts everyone. What do you think you're going to start doing when you go and meet Lord Shiva? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. He's going to instantly engage you in chanting. He's like, well, look at his transcendental clock. It's Kali Yuga. Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. We are going to do the Yuga Dharma. This is the only way, the only way, the only way. Yes, Prabhu.
And by the way, historically speaking, nobody was able to climb Mount Kailash. They tried. Very few didn't make it. Another one that, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lord Shiva is white.
Yes.
Right?
So
and he covered himself. So
yes. So if you actually look, even when you look at pictures that you'll often see, he's this bluish hue, and like, okay, I can see the relation between Vishnu and Shiva. They're both blue, yes. But in actuality, Mahadev, he is whitish in complexion. But because he covers himself in ash, he's got that bluish hue. And actually, he's also technically got an even darker bluish hue right here, which is the halachal. But yes, you're correct. Lord Shiva has this beautiful white complexion, just like the moon, the crescent moon, which rests on his head.
And the skulls, garland.
Yes.
So people don't disturb him chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so there you go. If you're really trying to focus on your bhajan, just like, okay, let me go to a Halloween supermarket store, give me a couple of skulls, give me like a tiger skin mat, maybe try to scare people away. I'm just going to chant Hare Krishna. People will leave me alone until it is time to go out and ask other people to chant Hare Krishna. Then we can put the skulls away and go out on Hari Nam. Dwai Prabhu, you had your hand up? Or?
Oh, he is in charge of Tamoguna, the mode of ignorance. That's like the superintendent in the police, the jail.
Yes.
So doesn't mean he's in the jail, he's also a prisoner. He's taking care of them. So Lord Shiva, I mean, who wants to take care of the prisoners? There are lowest of people, right? But Lord Shiva, as we've seen through these classes and how compassionate he is, and the why reason also he colors himself with the dust of the crematorium, because he wants to just remain humble and no one comes to me. I'm focused on my chanting to my Lordship Shri Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna, right? So he just took happily this charge. Everything came to him. Halahal, who will drink poison? Lord Shiva. And we devotees of Lord Shiva, we go and drink in the bars. Oh, I'm Shiva Bhakta. But can you drink the poison that he drank? No, we can't drink. But we claim to ourselves. And then Ganga. Ganga's force, yet you were also mentioning in your class, Prabhu, even today, you have to wear the chain. Everyone is required to hold the chain to go. Otherwise, no one is claiming your life if you finished. If you don't hold the chain, you go. That's much strong. It is still there in India today, in this day. So that's one thing. Who took the pressure? Lord Shiva. So we can see how much he's doing. And yet, he is also able to please the Supreme Lord. The Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even personally himself, wrote a song about him. So how much important he is. So we got all the clarifications that you. And then I was reading the Bhagavad Gita 10:23, and as we know, Lord Shiva appeared from where? Right. So forehead. So when he appeared, what he was doing? Rudra means crying. So Rudra is not just Shiva. There are 11 Rudras is mentioned here. Yeah. And Krishna says, out of the 11 Rudras, I am Lord Shiva or Shankara or Shambhu.
Yes.
So we can have details more later on.
And before we go to Vishwaramukha Prabhu to elaborate on your report, but let's give the mic to you, Prabhu, so you're ready. I do like that you mentioned the police role, because often if you think, especially here in the United States where we have a pretty expansive prison system, often you'll say, like, the police officers, they're the prison guard. They're their prison guard. They're there to watch over so the prisoners don't escape. When in actuality, Lord Shiva is more of a correctional officer, because should be the role of a prison. You're there to be reformed, and then you can leave as a productive member of society. This is the role that Lord Shiva takes in the prison example. He's not a police guard. He's a correctional officer, because he will take all of these people who have this demoniac mentality, or literally, not only just figuratively, but literally demons, and he will gradually correct them so that they can advance. And then, of course, that is something that we also have to think about too. Like, if you look, even as if you go out and let's say you're going out and doing Harinam, like whenever we go out to Lake Eola and you look at all the crazy people that walk around, you don't look at them like, oh my gosh, look at this person. He's wearing one shoe and one of them is a croc and he's got one sock. He's got a dirty shirt. But then rather you look, he's dancing in kirtan while we're singing. And he's actually picking up a book and he's taking interest in it. He's like, okay, you may be a little rough around the edges, but you're showing an interest in the Yuga Dharma. Let me help you out a little bit. Tell you about what we're doing and why we're out here. So that's also the one thing that we want to follow in his footsteps. Not take the role as someone who's like guarding, like, nope, this is all, we're all here in this material world. We're doing our time. Then eventually we'll get out. No, we have to gradually reform ourselves. And the way to reform ourselves is by performing the Yuga Dharma. So that's a really good one. Vishwadamukha Prabhu, please.
There once was a demon, Vrikasura. Vrikasura performed austerities to get a benediction from Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva came before him. Now, what did Vrikasura want? A great kingdom, elevation to the higher planets, incredible. No, he wanted a benediction that whoever head he touched, their head would break into pieces. He doesn't strike me as like the smartest demon. He's not. Maybe he's a B-list demon. Not. So okay. So that's what you want. Lord Shiva gave him this benediction. Whoever's head you touched, his head will shatter into a million pieces. Okay. So he has this power, and now I want to check. Let me test this out on Lord Shiva.
No.
So he starts chasing after Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva's running, and he trying to get away from this demon, this crazy demon, Vrikasura. And finally, Lord Shiva takes shelter of Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu comes as a charming small boy, and he bewilders Vrikasura. But you think you have this benediction from Lord Shiva. Shiva, he's not a very dependable guy. I don't think he really even gave you that. Why don't you test it out? Why don't you touch your own head just to see? And he touched his head, and his head shattered into 1,000 pieces.
There's a lot of B-list demons in the Shastran. I think whether or not Vedavyas intended to it, it's really great comedic relief in the Bhagavatam and different pastimes when you read about this. Of course, there's the cart demon who is so pathetic that Krishna just had to kick it as a baby and he died. And then, of course, but it is also interesting, I think, I love that pastime. And actually, I'm glad you brought that one up because I think, Prabhu, we're planning potentially next year we might do a potential play revolving around that pastime. So fingers out once we start casting. Yeah, would you like to audition? All right. We're making it happen. Yes, Prabhu, please.
May I comment on that pastime?
Please do.
Because it sounds crazy. Who would do that? Right? Who would do that? But H.D. Goswami, my spiritual master, he thought about it, say, I know who would do that. An atheist. Because the atheist is saying, I don't want to continue living. I want to die. I don't want to research anything. I just want to, it's over. I'm this material body and then done. I'll die. That's it. Like the Vritasura touching his hand and his forehead and dying. Same thing.
It's like just how there is the Midas touch, everything turns to gold. The Vitra touch, everything dies of idiocy. So, yeah, if there's also a rule of thumb, if you ever get something, never test it on yourself, but also don't test it on Mahadev because then he'll take you to Lord Vishnu and then, Lord Vishnu will trick you. But thank you, Prabhu, for both. Did anyone else who had a question, comment? Yes, Marisha.
Could you explain why Shiva has the crescent moon on his head?
Yes, if I recall correctly, although feel free if anybody knows a specific answer to correct, believe it represents his mastery of time. So that now he is not obviously the master of time, because we understand that is actually Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, time I am, destroyer of worlds. But Shiva has mastered it. His mastery of time, controlling time, understanding time, placing circumstance. But if anyone has a more specific answer to that question, but that's at least in my understanding of why there's the half crescent moon on his head representing his mastery over time. You have? What does Google Goes also, or Google Goes Sai, or at least Hare Krishna search? Okay. Is it HareKrishnaSearchEngine.com? Which is, but also if you think about it, even to time also revolves around the. Yes. That's. Yes.
She married Chandra, moon. So Prajapati cursed Chandra. So Lord Shiva delivered him and give as a benediction, I will wear on my.
Yes.
I mean, total story I don't remember, but.
Yeah. And then, of course, also the moon in relation to time. What dynasty did Krishna appear in? The Moon Dynasty. So, and then, of course, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, like we said, time I am. So, time and the moon. And even if we think about how the Vaishnava calendar works, it works on the lunar cycle. So, there. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Yes. Dime. Claro, dímelo. Sorry, everybody, do your Duolingo. So, dímelo. Por favor, dímelo.
Shiva es un semidios, pero también, o sea, es que nos confunde porque era como un seguidor de un Vaishnava de Krishna.
Sí.
Pero porque era un semidios, o sea, ¿qué lo hacía un semidios o porque es como nosotros si somos humanos?
Bueno, es un semidios, pero al mismo tiempo también es Vishnu. Pero no es Vishnu en total. Es un parte de Vishnu que cuando, por ejemplo, cuando el Señor se entra a este mundo material, en el mundo material hay suciedad todo, y cuando se contamina con eso, se devuelve como Shiva. Pero como Shiva es el Señor, va a mantener esa mente pura. Y por eso es un serviente del Señor. Y claro, también como vemos, por ejemplo, cuando Krishna tiene su primer avatar como Balaram. Balaram es Dios, pero Balaram es Dios en la mente de un serviente. También Shiva es eso como de Vishnu, tiene la mente de yo soy un serviente del Señor, pero al mismo tiempo es parte del Señor, pero de todos los devas, él es el mejor de todos porque tiene esa mentalidad que yo soy un serviente nada.
Gracias.
Yes. Everyone kind of pick up? Yes, no? What does Señor mean? Senior, good. So normally, senior, yes. So there's actually, if you ever hear, there's also something too, if you want to learn about how to promote, like if you want to distribute books in Spanish, Señor, oftentimes when we talk about God, it's referred to, you see, Señor. El Señor, if you go to like a Catholic church and you go to Spanish Mass, you hear, El Señor te bendiga. So that's often how you refer to God, is Sir. You offer that reverential. So therefore, if you're distributing some books in Spanish, where's Prajendra Kumar Prabhu? Some good tips, Max. If you want to sell books in Spanish, este es un libro del Señor y yoga. This is a book about God and yoga. Or you can even say yoga del Señor, the yoga of God, the yoga of Bhakti. Señor, well, that's what we call you. We're gonna take away the title of. We'll take away the title of Swamiji from you, and we'll just call you Señor Yoga, Mr. Yoga. But there you go. So often that's why if you want to think about whenever you hear like anyone in a Latin community saying El Señor, they're not just saying the Mister. Oftentimes it's just saying I'm talking about God. So, gracias. Any yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, just for that, I think I understood the question. But surprisingly, it's amazing. So much depth inside here. I got a picture here. Maybe to put it of a temple of Hari Kshetra. Hari Kshetra basically means it's a deity of half Krishna, half Lord Shiva. Krishna is black, one deity, like this, one deity. This is the depth of Krishna's affection to Lord Shiva. This is like yogurt and milk, different and non-different. So no other demigods come in this place. So there is a temple in Mayapur area.
Mm.
Right, like we say, Harihar. You can see, right? Krishna, right?
There's a simple example for to understand his teacher Veda is his sun and the sunlight.
Okay.
The sun and the sunlight are the same because the sun doesn't exist without the sunlight doesn't exist without.
Yes.
But they are different. One is the energy, one is the energy.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. El sol y el bueno, yo puedo decir. But actually, really quick, so everybody is simultaneous, one and non-different. So the Achinta Beta Beta Tattva, Lord Shiva is the embodiment of that, simultaneously one and different. El Shiva es el Señor, pero al mismo tiempo siempre es diferente. Y esa es también el primer cosa que el Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya, ha instructado a nosotros, de esa idea que el Señor es siempre uno, pero al mismo tiempo es diferente. So simultaneously, one and different, and Lord Shiva is a beautiful actual example of that simultaneous one and difference, because milk, everyone considers yogurt as a form of dairy, but at the same time, it's completely different, and yogurt cannot go back into milk. Once it's yogurt, throw in some fruit, maybe some granola, eat it, perfect, fantastic breakfast. Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to highlight before we get ready for our tea.
This is a special devotee, Lord Shiva special. But not everybody can be like this. So everyone is separate to me.
Yes.
Different times, different classes of devotees. And most of us who come from Indian background, we were Lord Shiva bhaktas. You know that. Basically, says Lord Shiva, give us what you like to do. Not what we didn't do it, but there was a devotee in the name of Shiv Mehta. So the Lord Shiva said, Lord Shiva, what is the best thing you like to do? Then I'm saying Hare Krishna. So you tell me that. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. If you sing a bhajan, simple, just practice, Namah Shivaya, Lord Shiva appears. That much love he had, Lord Shiva appears right away. And I'm just practicing, Lord Shiva didn't call you. Then Lord Shiva said, yeah, it's fine, I love you, but anyway. Then he said, Lord Shiva, what do you do? What do you like to do most? I said, this you'll have peaceful. Then he became Lord Shiva, he was a devotee of Krishna after following Krishna.
Yes. And then we can even understand that Lord Shiva, even obviously we know from the Madhya Lila that Lord Shiva does associate with Mahaprabhu directly through their conversations, but he also is an associate of Mahaprabhu. Who? Advaita Acharya. If you remember back, I talked about this on Advaita Acharya's appearance day, but Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu and also specifically Sadashiva, the glance of Mahavishnu, as he impregnates all of the material world. So Lord Shiva also gets to relish in the pastimes of Gauranga and Nityananda. So it's not just that Mahashiva is constantly chanting at Mount Kailash. He's also present in Gaura Lila, living what Mahaprabhu was teaching. And actually we owe it to Lord Shiva in his form as Advaita Acharya that we even have this Sankirtan movement. Otherwise, this would all be within the home, very like refined Vedic practices. But luckily, because of Advaita Acharya, he prayed for Mahaprabhu to advent, and now we have that. And my last little tie to Mahaprabhu is, if you may notice, I had a couple of images that of this animated version of Shiva. There's actually the devotee production that's made an anime version, so anime is like the Japanese art style of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Episode 1 is already out on YouTube, and it actually starts, I'm glad Ishan Prabhu, you mentioned it, the Harinam Harinam verse, because it actually starts with that conversation between Lord Shiva and his wife, where he's telling the Advent, like, yes, there will be an avatar, and talking about the Kali Yuga. I think, Dwight Prabhu, if we want to put that link for the Mahaprabhu anime, I'll find the link, or Marisha, you want to find the link and put that. So this is actually a really beautiful like anime production where it's talking about the advent of Mahaprabhu, and it actually starts with Lord Shiva talking about the Kali Yuga and the coming advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, yes, Prabhu, one last.
Earlier I shared a few chart or some notes about Lord Shiva, and usually we go to Lord Shiva with the mentality of today's Lord Shiva, Shivaratri, offer the milk and everything, and ask something from him. But we want to develop do offer that. But all of our false ego, material attachment, desire for enjoyment separately, that's what we should give back to the Lord. Come with the glass, Lord, take all these things, give it to Shepherd. So we will be having aarti. Feel free to come around this side. The big bowl there, the flower petals, offer them to Lord Shiva, do your prayer, Shivaratri, and don't continue on the business. So anyone who comes new, you see them, let them come to you.
¿De dónde? Ah, pero tú eres de Colombia. Me gusta Ecuador. Sí, me gusta. ¿Es de Ecuador? ¿De qué parte? Ambas generaciones. ¿Vives aquí en Orlando?
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Well, give me a stand. I'll probably pick it up later. Start out with a stand. Yeah.
Just keep it here.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jaya Gora Chande Arati Kosobha Shiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Jagamana Lobha Jana Vichatavane Jagamana Lobha Gorangera Roti Shobha Jag Gorangera Roti Shobha Jagajana Mana Lobha Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Daki neni jai chan, pame gadadhara. Kosi hache gora chan, ratna simhasane. Arati korena Brahma Adi Devagane Nara Hari Hari Kori Chamara Julaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosha Harikaya Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala Shanka Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Shanka Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj. Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj. Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjvala Kala Deshe Vanamala Kore Jalamala Shuka Narada Reme Gara Gara Bakati Vinora Reke Gorara Samphara Shiva Jaya Jaya Dora Chande Arati Kosova Jana Vidata Vane Jagamana Lova Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Can you move everybody forward?
What's that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj. Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj, Nitai Gaur Nataraj. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajkacharya Astutara Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajkacharya Astutara Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Siddhardas Thakur Ki Prem Shekhar Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadvitam Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Ganga Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Yato yato yami tato nasimha. Yato yato yami tato nasimha. Bahir nasimho hridaye nasimho. Bahir nasimho hridaye nasimho. Narasimhamadim sharanam prapade. Narasimhamadim sharanam prapade. Tava kara kamalavare nakam adbhuta singam dalita hiranyakashipu tanubringam keshavaditha narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare. Keshavaditha narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare. Keshavaditha narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare. Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. श्री नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, शील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So we're moving on to our chanting with absorption session. So we're passing around a quarter-sized round of beads. So the way you hold it is you go between your thumb and your middle finger, just like this, on your right hand. We don't use our pointer finger because we tend to point out faults with our pointer finger. And we will start on the Krishna bead. Right here, it's the bead with the tassel. And we will start with the Jai Shri Krishna mantra, which will be this mantra. And then holding it, we will chant the Hare Krishna mantra, one mantra per bead, and then we will pull the beads towards us like this. And then we'll go all the way around, just like that, and then we will end again with the Jai Shri Krishna mantra. Now, does anybody know the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra? Yes, Kaustubh. Ribo! So, I just want to say a little bit about gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Can anybody give me a definition of what gratitude is? Just a basic definition. Thankful? Yes. So, if we think about from a material point of view, what do people usually say they're grateful for? Money, family, friends, you know, that sort of thing. Now, in our spiritual journey, gratitude is also important. I was recently listening to a class by His Holiness Haladar Swami, and he was saying that the most essential thing that we need to receive mercy
is gratitude to Guru and Gauranga. Now, he said that the more we remember their contribution in our lives, the more we can spiritually advance. So how does that look like in terms of Guru and Gauranga? So we think about Mahaprabhu. It was on our right side on the altar. He specifically descended to the material world to bring the Hare Krishna mantra to every town and village. Before, as it was mentioned in class, it was only done privately in little houses for those respectable brahmanas. But he took it to the streets. Mahaprabhu took it out of those houses and gave it to everybody. And then, after that, it was spread throughout India. He went on tours of South India, and everywhere he went and chanted the holy name. And it said he went through a village, and by the time he passed out of the village, everybody was chanting Hare Krishna. So, but, it was throughout India, but not so much outside of India. So then, Srila Prabhupada, he took that Maha Mantra and brought it to the West, And then we think about the journey that Srila Prabhupada took to get here at such an advanced age, just to bring us the holy name. And so before we begin our chanting, we should, from our heart, express gratitude to Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, because without them, we wouldn't have the opportunity to chant. And as we learned from class, who were we talking about in class today? Lord Shiva. And we should also pray to Lord Shiva, because he can transform our Nam Bhajan to Nam Ras and give us that love. And if you have that love, like recently I think it was Valentine's Day or something like that, and somewhat of a big holiday in the Western world, and how is it's easier to express gratitude when we have love for that person. It's hard to express gratitude to a random stranger I don't really know. Like, I'm grateful that you talk to me on the street, I guess. But if you have love for that person, it's easier to express gratitude. So, we should have love in our heart to try to express gratitude to Guru, Gauranga, and let's also pray to Lord Shiva, not to get material success, not to get liberation, but to help us in our devotional practice, to help us in our chanting. So, with that, we can begin by the Jai Shri Krishna mantra right here. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. And if you need a pair of quarter-size beads, feel free to get your own at the gift store, just recently restocked. So after the program, you can come see me and I will get you a nice pair. Hare Krishna.
So before we begin this bhajan, there's another one, Marsha. Could you pull that up? So this is written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Sankalpa Kalpadhruma. We can read the translation together, all of us. O gatekeeper of Vrindavan, O Soma, all glories to you. O you whose forehead is decorated with a moon, and who is worshipable to the sages headed by Sanaka, Sanandana, and Narada. O Gopishvara, desiring that you bestow upon me pure love for the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, who perform joyous pastimes in Vrajadham, I offer my obeisances unto you again and again. Vrindavananipate Jaya Shoma Shoma Maule Sanaka Sanandana Sanatana Radidya Gopishvara Brajavilasi Yugangri Padme Prema Prayacha Nirupadi Namo Namaste Namo Namaste Tri Dashishvaraya Bhutadinataya Mridaya Nitya Namo Namaste Tridashishvaraya Bhutadinataya Mridaya Namo Namaste Tri Dashishvaraya Bhutadinataya Mridaya Nityam 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 Gangatarangotita Balachandra Churaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Gangatarangotita Balachandra Churaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Oh Gangatarangotita Balachandra Churaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Gangatarangotita Balachandra Churaya Gauri Nayanotsavaya Sutapta Chamikara Chandranila सुधाप्रचामि कर चन्द्रनील पद्मा प्रवालम्बुदकान्तिवस्त्रे
सुधाप्रचामि करचन्द्रनीला पद्मप्रवालम्बुदकान्तिवस्त्रे
शून्यरङ्गेष्टवरप्रदाय कैवल्यनाथाय वृषध्वजाय
सुनित्यरङ्गेष्टवरप्रदाय कैवल्यनाथाय वृषध्वजाय
ओ शून्यरङ्गेष्टवरप्रदाय कैवल्यनाथाय वृषध्वजाय
सुनित्यरङ्गेष्टवरप्रदाय कैवल्यनाथाय वृषध्वजाय
सुधांशु सूर्याग्नि विलोचनेन तमोभिदे जगतः शिवाय
सुधांशु सूर्याग्निविलोचनेन तमोभिदेते जगतः शिवाय
सुधांशु सूर्याग्नि विलोचनेन तमोभिदेते जगतः शिवाय
सुधांशु सूर्याग्निविलोचनेन तमोभिदेते जगतः शिवाय
सहस्रशुभ्रांशु सहस्ररश्मि सहस्रसञ्जित्वर तेजसिस्तु
सहस्रशुभ्रांशु सहस्ररश्मि सहस्रसञ्जित्वरा तेजसिस्तु
सहस्रशुभ्रांशु सहस्ररश्मि सहस्रसञ्जित्वर तेजसिस्तु
सहस्रशुभ्रांशु सहस्ररश्मि सहस्रसञ्जित्वरा तेजसिस्तु
नागेशरत्नज्वलविग्रहाय सर्दूलचर्मांशुख दिव्यतेजस्
नागेशरत्नोज्वलविग्रहाय
नागेशरत्नज्वलविग्रहाय सर्दूलचर्मांशुख दिव्यतेजस्
ज्वलविग्रहाय सर्दूलचर्मांशुख दिव्यतेजस्
सहस्रपत्रोपरि संस्थिताय वरान् गदामुक्त भुजद्वयाय
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 सुनु पुरा रञ्जितपादपद्मा शरत्सुधाभृत्य शुकप्रदाय सुनो पुरा रञ्जितपादपद्मा शरत्सुधाभृत्य शुकप्रदाय
सुनुपुरा रञ्जितपादपद्मा शरत्सुधाभृत्य
premanam evaja haro videhi.
विचित्ररत्नागा विभूषिताय प्रेमानं एवाद्य हरो विदेहि
Vichitra ratnaga vibhushitaya premanam evadya haro videhi.
विचित्ररत्नौगा विभूषिताय वनं हरो वेदि
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Oh Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Oh Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Oh Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Oh Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Bolo Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Mukunda Shaure
Bolo Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure
Oh Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Oh Gaura Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Gaura
Bolo Bolo Gaura Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj
Gaura Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Gaura Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj
Gaura Nataraj Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Gaura Nataraj
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shore Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva.
Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shaure Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva
Ityadi Namamrita Panamarta Bringadipaya Kila Dukhahantre.
इत्यादि नामामृता पारमार्था विगादिपाय
Oh, ityadi namamrita panamata bringadipaya kila dukhahantre.
इत्यादि नामामृता पारमार्था
Gnasitayashu Varapradaya Shivaya Sarva Gurave Namaha
Devyo Hare Bhakti Sukha Pradaya Shivaya Devyo Hare Bhakti Sukha Pradaya Shivaya Sarva Gurave Namaha Devyo Hare Bhakti Sukha Pradaya Shri Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya Tat Prananathaya Jasa Pradaya Shri Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya Tat Prananathaya Jasa Pradaya Sada Samuthanta Govinda Leela Gana Pravinaya Namostubhyam Sarvatamuttanta Govinda Leela Gana Pravinaya Namostubhyam Sada Samuttanta Govinda Leela Gana Pravinaya Namostubhyam Sada Samuttanta Govinda Leela Gana Pravinaya Etat Shivayashtakam Adhutam Mahat Shinvan Hari Prema Labheta Shigram Etat Shivayashtakam Adhutam Mahat Shinvan Hari Prema Labheta Shigram Jnanancha Vijnanam Apurva Vaibhavam Yo Bhava Purnaha Paramam Samadaram Jnanancha Vijnanam Apurva Vaibhavam Yo Bhava Purna Paramam Samadaram Jnanam cha Vijnanam Apurva Vaibhavam Yo Bhava Purna Paramam Samadaram Jnanam cha Vijnanam Apurva Vaibhavam Yo Bhava Purna Paramam Samadaram O Namo Namaste Tridashishwaraya Bhutadinathaya Hridaya Nityam Namo Namaste Tridashishwaraya Bhutadinathaya Hridaya Namo Namaste Tridashishwaraya Bhutadinathaya Hridaya Nityam Ganga Tarangotita Balachandra Chudaya Gauri Nayanotavaya Ganga Tarangotita Balachandra Chudaya Gauri Nayanotavaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Gaura Nataraj, Gaura Nataraj, Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj, Nitai Gaura Nataraj.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila
O
Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
This bhajan was actually sung by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in glorification of Lord Shiva. So it's nice. This is Mari Gupta. Shri Shivashtakam is the name of the bhajan.
All right, Hare Krishna. Maha Shivaratri ki jai. Yes, hopefully Lord Shiva will be pleased with our humble offering on this auspicious day, and hopefully he can bless us with the gift of pure devotional service to the Lord, to our very own Nitai Gaur Nataraj. So yes, today let's welcome any new guests. If you're here for the first time, or the second time, or the third time ever, please raise your hands so you can introduce yourself. Yes, Prabhu. Your name and what inspired you to come today.
My name is Ajay Tejwani. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I'm visiting Orlando with my family. My daughters have gone to the Universal Studios, so me and my wife are here today because we go to ISKCON in San Antonio as well.
Thank you for coming.
Puja?
Your wife?
Oh, hi. Welcome to Orlando. Hare Krishna. Blessed. Thank you.
Krishna. Anybody else?
Theme parks too. The spiritual theme parks right here.
The best one.
Anybody else for the first time, Prabhu?
Yes, hi. I'm from New York originally. My cousin is Hare Krishna in New York, so I retired from the government 2 months ago. I went to Colombia. Colombia has a high Hare Krishna movement with the indigenous community in the Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta, with the mamas who are elders. And I just happened to move here a couple of days ago, so I'm back just getting attention for you, and then going back to Colombia.
When are you going back to Colombia? 12 months.
I need 12 months to get the. I got attention from Silicon Valley, from California, so now I'm getting attention from Florida. I just got 1 more day.
Okay, so 12 months equals, what is it, 48 more times of coming here before you go, right? Hopefully.
I'm only 2 miles, so it's pretty.
Yeah, no
Why
problem.
don't you just move in the temple then? Stay here with us.
It's pretty cheap, you know.
Yeah.
Save some money like that.
Thank you for coming, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Anybody else? How do you go? Anybody else for the first time here? Second time? Third time? All regulars? Amazing.
I'd like to also introduce, and not introduce, but he has been coming here before, but welcome also His Grace Ramya Prabhu and Ananta Mataji from Alachua, and they're also part of the GBC board, RGB, zonal supervisor, checking over in Orlando. So today he said, I won't give class, I want to see what's happening. So all of us are in good behavior, Prabhu. Told them. It'd be nice. So, and he also is gonna, I'm gonna ask him to say something after we finish. Also something for him. No, after we finish, I'll let you know. After you finish, then you can come over. Then you can say a few words, and then also give something a gift. Okay, so let's finish up this quickly.
Okay, upcoming announcements and events. February 18th, which is Wednesday, that's Jagannath Das Babaji's Disappearance Day. Also, Rasikananda Disappearance Day on Wednesday, February the 18th. Are we doing anything special for that? Any fasting? Okay. Then February 20th on the Friday is Purushottam Das Appearance Day. And February 22nd on the Sunday, we're doing Harinam Sankirtan at Lake Eola, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So 11 a.m. at Lake Eola will start until 1 p.m. we'll go, and the temple van will be leaving here at 10:30. So if you want to hitch a ride and avoid parking downtown Lake Eola, which is a nightmare, you can come in the beautiful, pristine, brand new temple van that we have out front, and we'll all get going at 10:30. 10:30 Eastern time, not ISKCON time. So, all right. Book distribution. Give it to you.
Just put the pictures on in the meantime. Yep, 2 events of book distribution happened here in Orlando, and let me find out where is it now. My report that I received. Thank you to Bhakta Max goes out weekly, pretty much weekly to the university, the college is right here, and distributes them the real knowledge, you would say. They always get the fake knowledge, right, Krish? What kind of knowledge you get there? Helpful or not helpful? Somewhat, yeah. Then you can fulfill over here, right? So that's why you get that. So Hare Krishna Prabhu, goes to Srila Prabhupada. Today was books at UCF, only 1 hour, but I met nice people. Natalia is a Colombian student studying English. She already has the Bhagavad Gita. Tal Como S, what's that name? And is interested in coming to meditation Mondays. 1 chant and be happy. 1 hardcover Bhagavad Gita. 1 soft cover Bhagavad Gita. 1 perfection of yoga. Total $33. Hari Hari Bol. Bhakta Max ki jai. Thank you, Bhakta Max. Keep going every. Yeah, there's a reason you didn't go to UCF for the reason you went to, but you're going there for a real reason now. Huh? Whoa, Michael. Almost Jagannath. Yep. Everyone. Okay, then, yesterday was another fun day. And the report from Bhajendra Kumar Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, and Pranam Krishna Prabhupada. Today we had a very energetic book distribution at Patel Brothers. Supra Prabhu came out along with Neeraj Prabhu. Yeah, wherever Supra Prabhu goes, Neeraj Prabhu comes. So that's good. And Nishi and Charan Prabhu joined Max, Krish, myself, and I was also there in encouraging people to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Welcome them to our book table and also to our temple. In total, 6 gift sets, 2 Krishna books, and 3 higher tastes, and 3 Ishopanishad were picked up by favorable souls. So all the books they had taken yesterday, along with one Bhagavatam, everything was gone within less than an hour also, right? He mentioned only 1 hour, but you didn't mention here 1 hour, but within 1 hour everything was gone because I was there too. Some of them donated generously, and we collected $149 in cash and $156 on Square. Oh, and by the way, this morning, which means yesterday, Saturday morning, after the Saturday program finished, Bhajendra Kumar talked to Hanuman Prabhu. Hanuman, sitting at the back. Hanuman always stands at the back. You know that, right? Whenever there's Ram Katha going, Hanuman always stands at the back. which is a very good thing. Hanuman Prabhu expressed his interest in getting the Srimad Bhagavatam and donated generously $300 by Zelle. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Hanuman Prabhu, Krishna and Rebecca ki jai. Thank you. I don't know if they read or no, but this morning they were already here cleaning the temple area, mopping and flooring, and they blowing the leaves and stuff. So, Prabhu, what was the conversation you had with him that he got convinced to take the Bhagavatam? Okay, he said he wanted to do one more masters. Oh, and he said, why don't you master Bhagavatam? So how many PhDs in the house? Any PhDs in doctors here? You are Dr. Prabhu, very good. So Prabhu, Dr. Ji is there. Bhagavatam said, we have to master Bhagavatam. The real study of the soul. Body study has been going on. And yeah, wonderful pictures. Very, actually yesterday was very fast. People kept coming, keep going. Oh, sorry. Supra Prabhu, what was your first time? Was this first time yesterday? Yeah. Okay, Prabhu, explain your first time experience. Are you coming back again or no?
Well, it was a great experience, and it was a lot of fun, and it was very interesting to meet a lot of different people that were going into, Patel brothers. But I give a lot of credit to Bhajendra Prabhu, Bhakta Max, and Trish. They were so persuasive. All the books were distributed like hotcakes. They were gone. And whether I come back again depends on Bhajendra Prabhu if he wants me back.
He's an excellent prasadam.
Actually, I saw that. Natural. Everyone got the mercy prasadam. Very nice way, not pushing at all. And the natural smile he has got, Prabhu. He's got gifted with that. So, Krish, how was your experience yesterday?
It was pretty good, Prabhu. It was very energetic, as everyone said. It was pretty good. Accelerate.
Thank you. So, Krish, who would you want to join from this group next one? Look around, smile.
Krish?
So, this is good. One by one, we are getting more and more. And I'm also go out with this guy to see what's happening. All the pictures are there? Oh, wow. I want to see the last picture. There's no books on the table. that's the picture we should take next time. You can see the people in action. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. One more. Oh, yeah. Onyx families, she's not here today, but anyway.
Nice. Okay, so during the week, if you guys miss us, we do a Wednesday Chaitanya Charitamrita reading, 7 o'clock p.m. to 7:30 p.m. That is on Zoom, but it's also in person here at the temple. So we do Gaur Arti 6:30 to 7. That's every day, by the way. But 7 to 7:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, we read Chaitanya Charitamrita with all the devotees in the temple room, plus online. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., mostly on Zoom, Srimad Bhagavatam reading. The community gets together. We so-called popcorn read in turn, and it's a really great time. All right, sponsorship. We do have one sponsor for today's Love Feast. Can we get a drum roll or something? Marisha Mataji. Yay, Haribo. And why did Marisha sponsor today's Love Feast?
It was someone's birthday. That was not mine. Krishna Prema Plavana Das. Haribo! How old he is, I will not say. It is a secret, guarded very carefully, but
21 years old, young.
Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Krishna Prema, Hare Krishna to you. May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. And go back to Godhead. Vancha kalpatrupesha. पितसन्धुबहेवश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
2 words.
Just 2 words.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. Okay. So other than that, unless you have a significant other that has a birthday, or you just want to sponsor any love feast in general for any celebration in your life, that is always available. Just talk to Dwagpan Prabhu, Shraddhanjali Mataji, or call the number that you can find on the website wherever you go. You can sponsor that. We have an option for monthly donors, so you do a subscription model. You set an amount that you'd like to donate each month and donate that. For groceries, as far as groceries go, if you want to do the hard work of going to the store and lugging bags of flour, we have on the notice board outside, there's a little sheet that describes what groceries are available to get, because we can't accept everything, unfortunately, for donations. And any specifics, just call the number, the temple number, and Mataji will give you specifics on what to get. Okay, yes, we are a contemporary temple. We have all the social medias that you could wish for, where we post darshan. On Instagram, we have like motivational videos, funny videos, sad videos, all the emotions you can get from Instagram. Facebook, we do at least, I know we do Srila Prabhupada quote of the day on Facebook, so that's a good way to get your feed. Sorry? Oh, Palash takes care of that? Oh, thank you, Palash. Nice. YouTube, we do post our live streams that happen. Yes, just like right there. This will be on YouTube later. And if there's any special segments, we chop that up and post them as their own thing. And of course, our website is the most important, ISKCONOrlando.com. If you go there, you can find all the social media links and any information about the temple that you need to know.
ISKCON
Hours,
Orlando website,
number.
please.
Oh, can you put it up?
Yep.
Oh, it's not on. Ah, okay, there it is.
Okay, there you go. Very wonderful ISKCON. And again, what's the keyword that you see? More than a temple, education. Yesterday, Krishna was playing around, and he stopped. Over here, right? He stopped and said, "Thank you for the temple." I was like, "Thank you for keeping the temple clean or nice." He said, "Thank you for the temple." So I said, "Okay, thank you." No one says like this, but great. And he's happy here. So make sure Krishna is a very wonderful devotee. Kaustubh, make him friends with Krishna. And anyone else can make friends with Krishna. Yeah, shake hands. Nice. Yeah, but the key word there is education. So, just like, here we are, when Shreshto, Hare Krishna, we have 2 Prabhupada disciples here. I know when Prabhupada's time, when Prabhupada comes, so what happens? Does anybody wait for the program to finish? As Prabhupada said, and also the number 1 purpose of ISKCON, educate the society. So he's here with us, and everything was done in an educational manner. So we have been learning. And look at the website, it's done. Oh, one more thing. Thank you, Max, for doing this today. So whatever class Krishna Prabhupada gave today, we had his face on the corner of the screen, and whatever he presented was all coming out just like Silicon Valley style. And ISB style, if you've seen, everything was there. Like if you see Amarendra Prabhu giving class, and his whole scriptures and notes and everything is mentioned on the screen, is there. So we don't have to face the camera to the TV to see those things. And all glories to Bhakta Max technological skills for using this in Krishna consciousness. So going forward, all the classes will be like right along with the speaker, so people at home can really watch and read. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All right. WhatsApp, we have a notification announcements group. It's not a group where you get spammed with everybody's messages. It's just strictly for important announcements. If you want to join, you can scan the QR code up here. Otherwise, there's also a link on the website and a QR code out front of the temple. Highly encouraged to join. Maha Prasadam. So today we have Maha Prasadam boxes, sweets, and pizzas available. The sweet boxes are $4 a piece. The pizzas are $18 a piece. That's a steal. That's a delicious pizza. So yeah, get your Maha Prasadam. Talk to Marisha at the gift store after the program to get that. Marisha is the one here who sponsored the feast. Also, Marisha wanted me to mention at the gift store available, we have lovely kurtas. imported from India. Sorry? Oh, show off, yeah. This is one of them. So if you want to look like me, go see Marisha after the program. Oh, Palash needs one? Oh, perfect. Jai. All right, Srila Prabhupada quote of the day.
So there are like a lot of good quotes. So one I will do. I'll do two. So letter to Guru Das, February 13, 1968. A devotee always accepts his distress as minimized by God's mercy, although he would have to suffer many more times the suffering. Anyone who accepts this philosophy of God's mercy in suffering condition and still makes progress in Krishna consciousness, it is said that he is sure to go back to home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. And then letter to Dr. Stahl, February 15, 1970. The unhulled rice and the empty husk of rice look very much the same. One who knows how to get the grain out of the unhulled rice is wise.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Ramia, and I live in Alachua, and in ISKCON temples around the world, we have in charge president, but overseeing all the temples, we have a group called the GBC Governing Body Commissioners. And they try to make sure all the temples are going in the right, satisfy and help them with problems, oversee everything in their capacity. And then it's been identified that this is a special year. ISKCON is non-different from him. So we are very eager to spread Krishna consciousness. So in the course of this year, I think Dvaipayana will be having some special notice and events maybe for this purpose. I know we are planning a gala huge event in New York City at the end of July, where they will celebrate with special dignitaries and other representatives from all over the country. And it's a very elite special event to celebrate the 60th anniversary of ISKCON's incorporation, but maybe we can get you some information about that. So I also wanted to mention that there was a special project where a devotee named Madan did by Srila Prabhupada. And so we distributed some of these, but there are, I'm trying to, collected on Sankirtan, and then pictures from Prabhupada in the early days are here. 52.
Oh, wait. Can we, bro, can we do it here in this? You stand here, so Prabhupada is there too as well. And someone can take a picture. Yeah. Just and then the picture.
Okay. This is a great blessing. I want to thank first Ramya Prabhu for making the trip down here from Orlando. This is especially meaningful to me coming at this time. I'm leaving for India in 2 days. This is the first time I've been back to India for over 30 years. And I feel like Prabhupada is coming to me in this form to bless my pilgrimage to the holy dhams. And I'm especially double blessed on this auspicious day of Shivaratri. Mahadev Gopishwar is the guardian of Vrindavan, and without his grace, one cannot enter into the holy dham. I want to contrast this to the last time I attempted to make this trip. This was about 1.5 years ago, October 2024. I had my ticket. I was ready to go. My plane was leaving October 10th. I found myself on October 9th in the hospital having major surgery on my leg after a freak slip and fall accident. So Krishna is giving me a different sign. You're not ready to enter the holy dham. You need a little more purification. And just to put an exclamation point on it, the Orlando airport was closed, and my flight out of Orlando was canceled anyway. So I would also like to ask the blessing of all the assembled Vaishnavas that I can take shelter of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan and the dust of the holy Dham, which is not different from Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Can we just hold together with both of your hands? Like this, yes. Like that. Exactly. And Prabhupada can come from the back and look at the camera. Ramana Prabhu. No, look at that one second. Okay. Yes, got it. Thank you. His Grace Vishwatama Prabhu ki jai. His Ramya Prabhu ki jai. And I know Vishwatama Prabhu was going to go to India, and I thought he went to India because he didn't come. Now I didn't know that he was in the hospital or recovering after some time.
So thank you everyone for coming tonight. It's been a wonderful experience being with you all. And I'm very happy to see all the wonderful bhakti that's being exhibited here and cultivated on a regular basis. This is very nice. In America, we decided that we need to focus on growing Krishna consciousness. So this year, we're focusing in on a goal. The goal for all of North America is that in the next, by 2035, we want to coordinate our efforts, put all our energy so that 3% of all America is coming to the Hare Krishna temple every week. So just how many people are in Orlando? No, there's got to be more than that. Okay, 2 million. 2 million. So 1% would be 20,000. So in 10 years, we got to put 60,000 people here. With all your help. So in April, we'll be inviting Dvaipayana to come to Alachua and meet with all the presidents in the Southeast and start seeing how we can work together to just really move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Ramana Prabhu for coming over and just encouraging us all the time. He always speak on the phone, and today he was able to take out some time and come and meet with all of us. Hare Krishna. We're going to do Prasadam prayers.
Maha Prasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Swalpa Punya Patam Rajan Vishvaso Navajayate Sarira Vidyajal Jode Niyata Heka Jive Fele Visaya Sagore Tara Mata Jivati Lovo Masa Durmati Take Chatakatina Samsare Krishna Bharadoya Moy Kore Bara Jivajar Swaprasana Dilobar Se Anamrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Premida Ko Chaitanya Nitai Jai Mai Jai Nitai Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Nitai Gaura Nataraj Mahaprasadam ki.